Yeah, like, how did you get
Yeah.
into material science?
So I really that's where I first started was like learning about plastics actually because so I have a horse, his name's Rebel. I've had him for like 10 years. And he has a lot of trouble with his hoofs, so they're very like soft and I grew up in the low country of the US, so it's a lot of like a lot of like water and stuff that causes their feet to get like bacteria, all different problems.
Uh,
So the common, fix is to put shoes on because the horseshoe helps prevent their hoof from chipping as it's kind of like if you have like a gel nail or something, it just gives it a little bit extra strength. But the problem is that a horse's hoof is really masterfully designed to flex um and like absorb pressure and force as they're running, etc. So when you put a metal, they're usually like steel. And I guess they
right,
have aluminum ones too, but you put a metal shoe on there, it totally inhibits the hoof's natural ability to move.
right, like, it's yeah, I mean, steel would be, yeah, not flexible at all.
And not only like that has like later effects because then, you can imagine they're stepping and then all that force goes into their knee and their joints and stuff. So it's just it's not a perfect solution. And also, sometimes some horses can be sensitive to like the nails going through like when they have to nail it through and the nail should never hurt the horse, but it can if their hooves are weak, then it might just crack off and like not hold. So that's another issue. So there are people who make plastic horseshoes and glue on horseshoes. The issue with that is like, if you're gluing something on there, water and moisture can get underneath,
Um,
which can trap like bacteria. But the point is that I was like having all these problems, and the farrier showed me and let me keep a like an extra plastic shoe that he had, and that's when I was probably like 14 then, and that's when I was starting to like oh well, like what does it mean that the plastic can like flex and like what is that force and like just starting to learn about mechanical components about plastics and then also like well why is this plastic like chemically like this plastic versus another kind like why and how does that affect its properties. So yeah, and then that's kind of like you start looking at plastics and then material science shows up and yeah, I
right.
thought that was a really interesting subject.